But first, the origins of the orchestra involve a tuneful tale full of twists and turns. So here with a summary is Bob Hale with the orchestra report. Bob.
Thank you, Sam. Oh, no, come on now, enough. Thank you, Sam, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, behind me, I am reliably informed, is an orchestra. Yep, there they are, a big group of people, all playing music together. But where did they come from? Well, some came from as far away as Guildford. Hello, Simon. But the concept of an orchestra comes from even further away. In fact, it existed as far back as ancient Greece, home, unsurprisingly, of the ancient Greeks, who come up not only with the word orchestra, but also with the first musical scales and some instruments to play them on, things like the panpipes, percussion, and something called a lyre, though it looks pretty trustworthy to me. And then, just when we have something approaching an orchestra, along come the Dark Ages, the church band's instruments, and that's the end of that. But not for long. In the medieval era, groups make a comeback, this time with ridiculously named instruments, such as the serpent, the racket, the crumhorn, and the sackbut. You just blew down a sackbut. And if you play them all together, they sound like this. Absolutely awful, which is probably why modern orchestras don't use them anymore. But they do use this, thank you very much, written music, which, thanks to the invention of the printing press during the Renaissance, can now be shared around. There you go. Meaning we can all now get down to the same banging tunes. Oh, and as dance music's popularity grows, so does the orchestra, as they add a trumpet. Oh, there it is! And a tambourine! Oh, and a big bag of woodwind! Sorry, part of that was me. Shouldn't have had the bolognese. In fact, by the time we enter the so-called Baroque period, some orchestras have as many as 30 people in, now including drums. Don't do that! Then, as the Baroque period merges into the classical one, having your own personal composer becomes the in thing. All the best composers are hired by the kings and queens of Europe, meaning if you don't want to work for the royals, you're basically stuck between Baroque and a hard place. Little joke there, nice one, Bobsy. And talking of little, along comes Mozart, who starts writing music at just 2 years old, proving he's a complete genius and a horrible show-off. Then he grows up, writes 1,000 tunes, discovers the clarinet, and then dies. Killed by rival composer Salieri in a jealous rage. Or possibly not, no one really knows. But we do know that while Mozart made a big noise in the music world, it wasn't as big a noise as Beethoven, who, partly because he's deaf, makes the orchestra bigger and louder than ever before, which means as we enter the Romantic period, some orchestras have swollen to a whopping 100 pieces, which is so big and unwieldy, no offence, guys, that they need someone to keep them all in time. So conductors appear, hello, and in no time at all becomes bigger and more famous than the orchestra themselves. All right, mate, don't build your part. And with everything getting bigger, including somebody's ego, well, then the venues have to get bigger too, so it's goodbye to royal palaces and hello to enormous new concert halls. And in these huge halls, modern music goes absolutely crazy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to go crazy. As for my big finale, I present my favourite modern musical masterpiece, played with aplomb for you and you only by the one, the only, time-straddling, foot-thumping, heart-pumping, hit-making orchestra! Take it away, boys!
Bob. I can't hear anything.
Of course you can't. This is John Cage's classic 4 minutes and 33 seconds. 4.5 minutes of absolute silence.
And you enjoy that?
Wait, this is the best bit. Oh, so good. Thank you, boys. Thank you for listening. And back to you, Sam.
So, it seems that the orchestra as we know it began life in medieval times which is around the same time as Bob.
I heard that.
And you were meant to.